Okay, my name's Ron Colson. I've been coming to Great Lakes since 1958. This was part of a two-prong attack that turned my whole life into being drag racing. I went my first race ever, I went to the World Series in 1957, the first one there at Cordova. Went to see Cook and Bedwell because I knew they were the baddest hombres in the land, and I couldn't figure out who the skinny kid from Florida was that beat him twice. Well, I know who Don Garlitz is now. And then the following spring, I came up here to the Olympics. I don't even think it was called the Olympics then, it was a Memorial Day race. And I came up here just to see what was happening and didn't go home for 3 days. I stayed for the whole thing. Saw every minute of every run of everything that was here. And just from that point forward, hopelessly hooked on drag racing. And when I started racing, I came here with my various gas coupes, old Chevy engine Studebakers. Had a lot of good runs in those cars, a lot of good races up here. Remember Al Pfeiffer and all the old gasser guys that were just a tradition here at the Grove. And then as we got through the gas coupe phase, and I got my first top gas dragster, it was a Garlitz chassis, the skinny kid from Florida from 57. That was in 64. Came here for my first run on that, and the brand new blown Chevy engine I had for it had a bogus set of rod bolts, and I left here with all my parts in the pan. Very bad start to my top gas career, although it improved after that. Came here with various top fuel dragsters, front engine cars for Ken Peterson. We had a car that was a 69 UDRA top fuel champion, raced here a lot with that. Came here with Ma and Pa Hoover and their top fuel dragster when Tom went to the funny car, and then had a variety of funny cars here, a couple of different Chi-Town Hustlers, 5 different Hawaiians, and you had asked about a memorable moment here, and I said I shared that with Jeff Elliker because we both had our biggest fire at Union Grove. Mine was in the Chicago Patrol car, and I was racing Tom McEwen. A spot like that, you always like to have a guy you trust in the other lane because you know you're not going to do very well. And this burned all the paint off the car, burned the chutes off, warped all the aluminum, and flattened the tires. That's what stopped it because the chutes are burned off. And we didn't know it till we got it back to the pits, but it also grenaded the fuel tank. The fire traveled up the vent pipe, which is why the fire was so bad. And something about that Jeff still teases me about is 2 weeks before that we'd had a chute failure and gone off the end of Martin, Michigan, and folded the car up pretty bad, and you got it rebuilt. But in those cars at that time we didn't have any upholstery, we were sitting right in the aluminum seat. So when I slammed off the end of Martin, came down from 200 in about 4 car lengths, I ended up with a broken tailbone, and we didn't have a Hans device, so my neck was stretched pretty good, but chiropractor worked on that. But when I was here that day at the Grove, for comfort, I got one of those rubber donuts that people use for hemorrhoids because it cushioned my tailbone in that aluminum seat. The only thing was, with the fire going underneath, the aluminum seat became a frying pan, and I took a lot of teasing about the brown spot in the back of the fire suit after the fire, but it was just the cushion, it wasn't anything else. And I guess one of my favorite memories here, and here again I'm using Jeff as my historian, was the picture that Ray Mars took of the Avanti Hawaiian Corvette in the right lane and Prudhomme's Army car in the left lane. And I just thought it was a neat picture, and then Jeff looked up the records and found out that I left on Prudhomme and we beat him, and so now I got bragging rights to go with my favorite photo from up here. It's a good memory. So it's been, geez, how many years? 60 years worth of memories in this place. For a guy that's only 39, that's a lot.